Good morning, children. We are doing exercise number 2.7 of chapter number 2, that is fraction and decimal. Now, in this exercise, we have learned dividing a decimal by 10, 100, 1000, etc. Now, all of you must be knowing the rules, but again, I am just repeating. Number one is on dividing a decimal by 10, the decimal point is shifted to the left by one place. On dividing a decimal by 100, the decimal point is shifted to the left by two places. And on dividing a decimal by 1000, the decimal point is shifted to the left by three places, and so on. We have learnt dividing a decimal by a whole number. The method is step 1, perform the division by considering the dividend a whole number. Step 2 is when the division of whole number part of the dividend is complete, put the decimal point in the quotient and proceed with the division as in the case of whole number. Now children, today we are going to learn division of a decimal by another decimal number. Now let us see that if we want to divide 25.5 by 0.5, it means we can write it like this: 25.5 divided by 0.5. Now here you can see the first number is also decimal and the second number is also decimal. Now you can remove the decimal of both the numbers by dividing them by 10. Now you can ask one question, that why we are dividing by 10. Now here there is only one decimal place in the first number also and in the second number also. That is why we are dividing both the numbers by 10 and 10. Now suppose there are two decimal places, then you will divide by 100. Is it clear? Now after dividing, you are getting 255 by 10 divided by 5 by 10. Now what we will do, we know that when we divide two fractions, we convert the division into multiplication and we write the reciprocal of the second fraction. Means what we will do, we will write 255 by 10 into 10 by 5. That is the reciprocal of 5 by 10. The answer will be 51. Thus 25.5 divided by 0.5 is equals to 51. Now what do you observe? For 25.5 divided by 0.5, we find that there is one digit to the right of the decimal in 0.5. This could be converted to a whole number by dividing by 10. Now accordingly, 25.5 was also converted to a fraction by dividing by 10. Or we say the decimal point was shifted by one place to the right in 0.5 to make it 5. So there was a shift of one decimal point to the right in 25.5 also to make it 255. Now let us find 20.55 divided by 1.5. Now we can write it as 205.5 divided by 15 as discussed above. Now how we have done it? We have shifted the decimal one place. Now why one place? Because in 1.5 there is only one decimal place. So we are shifting one decimal place in both the numbers. So it has become 205.5 divided by 15. And when we will divide, we will get the answer as 13.7. Now similarly you can find 3.96 divided by 0.4, 2.31 divided by 0.3. Now consider now 33.725 divided by 0.25. Now we can write it as 3372.5 by 25. Now how? Now we have shifted the decimal two places towards our right. Why? Because in 0.25 there are two decimal places and we get the quotient as 134.9. Children, whatever we have learnt, I want to discuss it with the video also. Suppose we want to divide 31.5 by 10. Now as I told you that you can write directly the answer, that will be 3.15. Now why? Because here we are dividing by 10 and when we are dividing by 10, then the decimal will shift one place towards our left. So the answer will be 3.15. Now if you don't want to do it directly, you can do it like this also: 315 divide by 10. Now here why we are writing this divide by 10, because we want to remove this decimal. So it will be 315 divided by 10, then again divide by 10. Now it will be, when we are dividing, obviously it will be changed into multiply. So it will be 1 by 10, that is the reciprocal of this 10. So it will be 315 by 10 into 1 by 10. So the answer will be 315 divided by 100. So 3.15. Have you understood? Now this is the method which we are doing in detail. Means we are removing this decimal, then we are dividing by 10, and then we are writing the reciprocal, and then we are getting the answer. Now suppose we want to divide 31.5 by 100. Now you know that you can do it directly. Here we are having 2 decimal places, so the decimal will be shifted 2 places towards our left. So the answer will be 0.315. Now if you want to do it in the long way, then you will have to remove this decimal. So it will be 315 by 10, then divide by 100. It is divide, it will be converted into multiply, and the reciprocal of 100 will be 1 by 100. So it will be 350 divided by 1000. So the answer will be 0.315. Now this direct method is applicable only when you are dividing by 10, by 100, by 1000, or like that only. Otherwise it is not applicable. Now suppose you want to divide a decimal by a whole number, means 6.4 divided by 2. Now here first of all you can remove this decimal, means 64 by 10, because there is one place only, so you are dividing by 10. So 64 divided by 10, then divide by 2. Now again this is divide, so you will have to convert it into multiply, and the reciprocal of 2 will be 1 by 2. So it will be 64 by 20, you can cancel, it will be 32 by 10. So the answer will be 3.2. Now this is one method, that how you can divide one decimal number by a whole number. Now if you don't want to do it like this, then you can do it in another way also, that is 6.4 divided by 2. So it will go by 3, 2 3 times 6. Now there is decimal, so put the decimal in the quotient and then bring 4 down. So it will go by 2, 2 times 4. So the answer is 3.2. Now this is up to you whether you want to do it by this method or by this method. Then we have learned how to divide a decimal number by a decimal number. Suppose you want to divide 25.5 by 0.5. Now here you can see both the numbers are in decimal, so you will have to first of all just convert it into fraction, that will be 255 by 10, because there is one decimal place, and 0.5 divided by 10, because here is also one decimal place. Now it is divide, so it will convert into multiply, and the reciprocal of 5 by 10 will be 10 by 5. Now you will cancel it and you will get the answer, that is 55.